Hey there, viewers and listeners. You are live with Big Lawrence Johnson here at Second City Shop Talk Sports. And man, wasn't that game a, uh, it was a difficult game. It was a much different game than what we're used to seeing from our basketball team. But how about they had to win this game in a much different fashion than what they're usually used to winning games in. I mean, we're talking about a basketball team who only shot 27% in the first half. And as they shot 27% in the first half, with only 1 of 9 from three-point range, something that they have always done very well this uh, this year. But still come out and score 80 points. That's one thing that I was curious about was to see, all right, this has been a tough half. Now, can they score, at the prolific rate that they've always scored at this season? And I'm not going to call it quite prolific, but you start getting into scoring 80 points a game as they are, that's up there, man. That's a lot of points to put up in a college basketball game. But they got to 80 points shooting for the whole game, 45%. As they're shooting 45%, also players caught fire, meaning Dallin Hall. How about it? Dallin Hall went off for 20 points. And the thing about with Dallin Hall is he hasn't had a game or had to have a game like this all season. And when you have players, when you have players, so many players uh, on the roster who can score and shoot, a lot of times it's a matter of, whose night is it, who's out for the night. But I will tell you this, you did have a couple guys who are consistent or consistently have scored and put the ball in the bucket. I'll start with my guy, Zakari White. How about it, guys? Zakari White with 15 points. Also, I feel like he was a spark plug, one of the two spark plugs to get the team going as well. You guys having a hard time hearing me, huh? Thanks, Chad, for that. Let me see something here. Let's try this. Tell me if you can hear me any better. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me any better, Wood. But yeah, this game was a game that I felt like was definitely a game that this team needed. They needed a game like this. And as they got a game like this, all the three-pointers weren't falling. They had to be able to score, in a way other than it's worse, huh? Dang. I'm sorry if you guys are having a hard time hearing me. I am sorry you guys are having a hard time hearing me. Yeah, there is a lot of background noise here. A lot of fans, a lot of people leaving. Trying to talk more directly into the mic here, but yeah, I mean, this is one of those games that you have to have going into conference play, and as of coming into January, they're definitely going to need to play more games like this. Another 80-point game. Try the headset again. That can do you guys a little bit better. But yeah, you're looking at a team that looks like they are primed to get into ACC play, and when they get in ACC play, all those threes, that they usually see them hit, they're not going to fall like that all the time in conference play. One thing I can tell you, Maryland they did a great job of uh, of closeout. When our guys were spotted up along the three-point line. Their guys sprinted out, made it a difficult shot. I got to give their guys credit for that. Another thing is Maryland, very pesky squad. They have talent. There's no doubt about it. Maryland has always had talent on their teams. It's whether or not they can really put it together. Buzz Williams, of course, ex-Virginia Tech head coach, coaching them, doing a good job with the squad in his first year. And I think if this team can continue to do what they're doing right now, we should have some really good things to look forward to. And I can tell you, Wood, you're absolutely right. It was pulled out a win. They did play terrible. But think about that. They played terrible and still scored 80 points, shot 27%. But we got to give a shout out also to Chance Mallory. Didn't really make a difference. Well, he made a difference, you know, in a lot of other ways, but he didn't score his regular double figures. Chance had 6 points, but this is where he really made the difference. He had 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 5 steals, man. I talked about a spark plug in Jakari White on offense. Well, we have a spark plug on defense and ball control and energy, and that's Chance Mallory. When those two guys come in together, they are pesky. They make it so difficult for the backup guards or the other, the starting guards to try to set their offense because they challenge every pass. They challenge passing lanes. They challenge inbound passes. They are the kind of players a coach, loves to have. They're dream boat type of players where, they do the hard things. They do the things that a lot of players have a difficulty worrying about doing because they don't want to lose their energy, you know. But that's one of the philosophies with Coach Odom is he has the guys uh, platooning in and out a lot. You have, your power forwards as uh, Tillis and DeRitter. Your center is Osenio and Grunlow. Your point guard, you have Dallin Hall, Chance, Mallory. Your guards, you're looking at, you know, oh my goodness, I'm drawing a blank. But your guards are that you have come in are you got your small forward Sam Lewis, and you also have um, and of course Malik Thomas as well. So you have these guys rotating in and out, and then of course Jakari White also throwing in his energy. You just have a lot of players that are rotating in and out, and they're somewhat interchangeable. And you are too deep. You have a 2 platoon system, and I like what Coach Odom's doing. So it's a very a welcome difference to what we're used to seeing, but let's ride this wave right now. I know that we're also waiting for ACC play. This is kind of what I felt like this would be an ACC kind of a feel, and it was because it got a little scrappy. It got a little rough and tumble in there. Kids falling all over the floor trying to get to the ball, and I felt like this team, and if they were going to win this game, I wanted it to be tough. I wanted it to be that game where it's not just all, the reason why they're blowing the team out is because they just started making all their threes. And this is a game that didn't make a lot of threes. In the first half, they were 1 for 9. All right? So let's, they wound up being 35% from 3 and 45% from the field to close the game out. So let's keep riding this wave of this basketball team being what they are, and we'll keep you up to date here on Seven Cities Shop Talk Sports. Make sure you tune in Tuesday nights as well. Also, keep a lookout. I will be doing some more work with the NFL Draft Bible now that the draft is coming up, and I will be talking about and talking with some of the players that are going to be drafted in the NFL. I'll be interviewing some players as well. So just stay close, stay tight. Keep tuned in. But I gotta thank all of you for hanging out and sitting tight with us. Just thank you for tuning in, Wood. But what I'll do is we'll talk a little bit. We got a football game Saturday coming up as well. But if you guys don't catch me, happy holidays to you. But this has been another win, good game for the basketball team. This is Seven City Shop Talk Sports. Thanks again, Wahoo Wah, and I will see you guys in a few days. Thank you. Bye bye.